What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel. And today actually was supposed to be a Jacksonville Jaguar realistic rebuild because I was voted on by you guys. This will be coming tomorrow because in my first draft with Jacksonville, let's just say I went to go draft a player and I couldn't believe the rating. I was like, that's not right. So I said enough is enough, and I went through, spent probably about 5 hours fully updating this draft class as it stands of December 14th. Now, there's going to have to be probably a couple more revisions sooner than later because we're having underclassmen that are deciding to go to the NFL. We have players that are returning, but this is the big update for the 2022 draft class that I think a lot of you guys have been waiting for. As it stands right now, like we had Rattler before, but now we get the QBs, Pickett, Howell, Matt Corral, Malik Willis, Carson. It's going to be like, I don't even know what QBs are declaring at this point. So, like, for draftable quarterbacks, very light. I mean, I don't know if Tagovailoa's going to go. Like, I think for sure right now, Levis, Zappi, Ritter, Strong, Willis, Corral, Howell, and Pickett are like the only quarterbacks that are even going in the draft this year. But those have been updated, so we know more Spencer Rattler going in the first round, stuff like that. Big time updates to the running backs. Kenneth Walker is now our new RB1. Tyler Goodson has been added to the class. Hassan Haskins from Michigan has been added to the class. Big time updates. Jerome Ford from Cincinnati has also been added into this draft class. And I always feel like it is worth doing the UDFAs. I will say when there's players that I'm pretty sure are going to return to college, but have not made the decision, even if they are potentially draftable for the time being, I'll just knock them into the UDFA so you don't have a guy that, if it takes me a little bit to get to this next update for the draft class, you're not having a guy that's clearly and publicly stated he's returning to college being like drafted second round or anything like that in your drafts. A lot of updates to fullbacks, sure, why not? For wide receivers, Treylon Burks got a little bit of a buff. Jameson Williams got a little bit of a buff. Here's another one, Mechie, I'm pretty sure he's returning, but I'm not sure because of that injury he suffered late season, but actually not a crazy amount of updates to the wide receivers. I was pretty good with my wide receiver class, I think, all things considered. For the tight ends, again, not a lot of crazy things. We had a big-time adjustment. Billingsley fell a little bit there. You have James Mitchell kind of rose a little bit. Trey McBride, the Mackey winner, rose a little bit within the top 10. We have for the offensive line, Raymond has been added to the draft class. He wasn't actually even there from the first time around. He's a guy right now getting a lot of first-round buzz. I mean, for a lot of these players as well, I was kind of basing it off of the East-West Shrine Game roster as well as the Senior Bowl invites. We got two centers. We had Grant Gibson from NC State and Ricky Stromberg from Arkansas. Those were two draftable centers. They both went back to school, so it's looking like a very weak year to be looking to get a center. That's why you want to get Linderbaum out of Iowa sooner than later. Not too much has really changed on the offensive line, to be completely honest with you. Just more so movers than adding new players. Like Trevor Penning has gone up quite a bit. We added in Zach Elge from Fordham. He's getting a lot of gas right now. Max Mitchell from Louisiana as well has been added. On the defensive side, Aiden Hutchinson, easily the biggest riser. I mean, you could almost say that plus 51 right there on the spot. Very much appropriate. I'm not going to say that's the guy we drafted because if we're watching the Jags rebuild, don't want to spoil the first player. But I will tell you right now, he was the guy. He was the guy that made me say, okay, I got to update this draft class. Heisman finalist, and he needs to show some love. I added Travon Walker from Georgia into the draft class. Logan Hall from Houston was added into the draft class. Right defensive end, David Ajabo has been added. He wasn't even in the draft class. He is now there, a legitimate first-rounder out of Michigan. D-tackle, Devontae Wyatt, big-time upgrade for him. Same with Fedarian Mathis. He has been a huge riser at that defensive tackle spot. Linebacking core, pretty much same. Didn't do anything too crazy. We did give some pretty big buffs to Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd, as they are expected to be two potential first-round middle linebackers. Right outside linebacker, again, nothing too crazy. We removed Adam Anderson. A lot of off-the-field stuff going on there from Georgia. I don't think he's going to be declaring. Roger McCreary got a big-time boost in the secondary for the corners. Added in Kyler Gordon and Marcus Jones. These are guys right now, big-time risers so far, based off of their play from the 2021 season. Into the secondary, not too much happened at the safety spot. Either one of them, to be honest with you. I mean, Briscoe get a little bit of buff. One thing I did do, though, Petrie, massive boost for him. I mean, big fan out of Baylor. I love any Baylor Bear. I was riding with them, betting with them all year long. They were very reliable because they were underdogs. Like every single week they had like, a competitive matchup, and they would just bring home the bacon. But what I also did for this, and here's a big one for everybody, we added in the freaky punter from San Diego State. I don't know if he's going to declare, but I'll tell you right now, if you want a punter, 99 kick power, there you go. But I got a hold of Bruce Feldman's Freak List, which is the top 100 best athletes in college football, and I went through everybody that was in this draft class, and they got big-time boosts to whatever like athletic testing numbers he was posting. So some of these guys got big-time improvements. So if you've drafted, Kalafdis, if you've drafted Treylon Burks before, a lot of top players have big-time boosts to their ratings just based off the Freaks List. So trying to give you guys the best experience here for the draft class. For as far as 2023 is concerned, that's the one that's going to I'm going to put the brakes on it just a little bit, because this draft class is the one you want to get right. I'm going to be always playing catch-up when players decide that, hey, some players have transferred, so they're not going to declare. Some guys are just straight up going back to school. You still have that super senior rule. All that stuff's, you got to kind of work with it. So the pro is that this 2022 draft class is going to be here. It's going to be updated. It's going to be good. The con is that January 17th is the deadline to declare, and the 2023 draft class will not be updated until that point, because I'm constantly pulling players from 2023 that may be, entering the draft early. So it's always going to be an incomplete draft class in terms of full prospects. So we have a full 450 players until we know which players are staying and returning for the 2022 season. So, the information that you need to get these draft classes, and thanks to everybody for downloading. We, the first draft class has only been up for a month, less than a month, and it's already in the top 10 downloads. So I very much appreciate that, considering it took me forever, and I imagine where it would be if I would have been able to upload it early on. But here is the information that you need to know for the updated draft file. There it is. It is 2022 Draft V3. C4 is the username. I didn't go with the super long description because half the time the draft, I was fully expecting it not to upload. But go get your hands on this draft class. This is going to be the draft class that I will probably be tinkering with probably weekly until, maybe not. I'm not going to tinker with it for the sake of tinkering it, but if there's big players that are just deciding they're going back to school, like for someone like John Mechie, where it's kind of assumed that he is, but until it's official, but guys like that, I'll be able to pull them away. I still have a list of players from the Senior Bowl, from the East-West Shrine game, that have declared that I can still input into this draft class as players drop out. But these are going to be the draft classes that I use for my realistic rebuilds, and 2022 is good to go. So go check that out. If you enjoy it, pop a little like here, share the love, and that's it for today. See, again, had to do this. Figured I might as well give you guys the update of what happened into the draft class. I love looking through the comments. Every now and again, you guys say, oh, see, you can add this guy to the class, or this guy needs to be rated higher. I love seeing those kind of little debates and, kind of pounding the table for your guy. So if you feel like any of the players that we kind of quickly went through there was too high, too low, let me know in the comment section below. Go and download these draft class files, and I'll see you back here tomorrow using this updated draft class for the realistic rebuild of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if it's your first time stopping by. Smash the like button if you're hyped to use these draft classes. And if you are on original Xbox, PS5, PS4, I have 3 people on each one of those individual consoles, because right now, this draft class, for some stupid reason, can only be used on next-gen Xbox. I have 3 people working off of my spreadsheet, making draft classes on those platforms. I'm not doing some sort of, I'm opening up floodgates. Everyone that wants to do it gets the files or whatever. I kind of just said first come, first serve. We're going to wait and see. So hopefully I will have updates on those platforms when these draft classes drop. And probably just follow me on Twitter at PapaXC4, because whenever those guys say it's good to go and give me the file name, that is where I'll most likely be posting it. So that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.